friends, welcome back to the Plaid X2 channel. My name is John. On this channel we talk all things physical media, so movies, music, and books. If you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and subscribe down below for more of that kind of content. Well, this is another episode of The Five, and it is episode 7 of The Five. And this is with my friend Brian from the YouTube channel Brian Goes Blu. If you've never checked out his channel, you got to check it out. Awesome content. He just passed the 500 subscriber mark, which is a huge milestone for any YouTuber, and they just did a big giveaway of a Turbo Man. All his information is going to be there, the Instagram stuff and YouTube as well. So please do check out Brian Goes Blu and Coco too. Awesome YouTubers, great people, and with a killer collection. So anyway, please do check them out. This conversation was a lot of fun, and as has been the pattern, I'm ending up with giant lists of films I have never seen before that I've got to watch trailers on and potentially add to the watch list, potentially add to even the pickup list. So anyway, this was a great conversation. I really enjoyed this conversation with Brian. I hope you do too. So anyway, check out this episode number 7 of The Five with Brian Goes Blu. Sorry, my mom is texting me.
You're good. Me earlier.
I got to respond if it's my mom.
I scrolled back to you like close to a year ago or something like that, and I was like, whoa, this guy had a full head of hair.
I have no 80s cred at all.
It's okay. You'll get there.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks so much for being up for doing this, man. I'm looking forward to this.
Totally. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's fun for me. Like I get to I watch your channel, I watch all these channels, and I'm like, man, I just wish like all of us lived in the same town so we could actually like hang out with other and chat with other like movie fans, you know?
Yeah.
And so this is as close as I can get to that, getting to have these conversations. So I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity and having me. And as usual, as everybody else did videos with you is pretty awesome. I have one recurring title I know that Marie had in here, but other than
really?
That, yeah.
There was, I forget which Halloween might have made the first 2 videos, I think. First 2 or 3. Yeah. So there has been a couple, but so far it's been pretty varied and diverse, which has been fun.
Well, I could, each one of these categories, I could easily have like 20 or 25.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been. I've had a couple people message me who don't have YouTube channels who say when they watch these, they literally go through their collection and pick out. They answer all the questions themselves, and so that's pretty fun that they're doing that. But so cool. Well, hey, before we dive into the actual 5 questions, I thought I have 2 questions for you. Well, one of them is first of all, I want to say congrats. You crossed 500 subscribers. Yeah. That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, we're almost at like 550 already. It's like 544.
I just saw that today. That's awesome. And you did the live stream, gave away the Turbo Man.
Yeah. We gave that away. I sent it in the mail like a few days ago, actually.
Nice. I see. There's a few different YouTubers who've found the Turbo Man, and so it's like a pretty like coveted item. People are finding them, taking pictures with them in Walmart.
Yep. Yeah, Coco saw 2 in there, and she's like, we got to get both of them, one for a giveaway, because we're like right at the 500 mark. And I was like, all right, pretty good idea. So we just did it.
Very cool, man. Well, congratulations.
I forgot Mr. Nichols was doing the same like giveaway.
Well, man, I think people want it. So the people are probably pumped that more people are doing that giveaway.
Yeah, we're going to open ours though and check it out and everything soon. So nice.
Well, my first question for you is related to that. As a YouTuber, what have you learned? I'm in a similar place as you guys, just recently passed 500. What have you learned in passing 500, like getting to that 500 mark? What have you learned being a YouTuber, growing a channel?
Growing a channel is all about just basically being consistent, like with your content and being able to put stuff out there like on a consistent basis, really. If you like one video every couple months or something like that, you're not going to grow as much, and you have to connect with other YouTubers and network a lot. So I enjoy doing that as well, and just building a fan base of your own, you know?
Yeah. Cool. And I found just like such a cool community like here on YouTube with all these different YouTubers, movie collectors. And I was super nervous getting started, and then getting to meet all these people. They're just like some of the kindest, like generous people, you know, you'll ever meet. So that's been
Yep.
really cool.
I think I started my channel like 7 years ago now, but I was kind of just like off and on with it. And whenever Coco and I got together and everything, I wanted to start it back up. Then she joined in, and now we're making it a little more consistent, like once every week or two.
Yeah.
But it's whenever we feel like doing it, really.
Well, too, like, and once when life is just crazy too, when like work and just the pace of life, sometimes that is what you can do. I was researching, doing a little more research on your channel, and I was going through, and I did see that it goes back like 6-7 years on your channel.
Yeah, the first, like those first couple of years, I was living at my mom's, and I mean, I'm older now, but like, it's just, I don't know, it was way different back then.
Yeah. Yeah, even like so I'm doing it for a little over about 2.5 years, and even like, or no, 1.5 years, and even that, like, I go back to that first video or two, and I'm just like, oh, that's terrible. Like, I need to change. I don't, you know, like how your own style evolves, and you know, your own voice, all of that stuff. But
I scrolled back to you like close to a year ago or something like that, and I was like, whoa, this guy had a full head of hair.
Yeah,
hair without facial hair, like you had like the beard at one point.
Beard comes like overnight almost. So my daughter prefers that I have a beard. So now that the winter's coming, it's going to be coming along. So the next question I have for you before you go into the actual 5 is, how did you come up with your name? What inspired the name?
I don't know. I was just thinking of a movie related like YouTube name, and this is obviously before 4K format came out. And so I was just thinking of, I like Blu-rays, movies, DVDs. It just popped in my head one day, really.
That's awesome.
And I thought it stuck, and everybody else seemed to think so too. That was because I was talking to like a bunch of YouTubers before, just commenting, and then I would just talk to them through like, we would do like hangout sessions, like when Google Hangouts was a thing. I would join them on Hangouts, and they would be like, why don't you start your YouTube channel of your own? And I was like all nervous. I didn't know. I wouldn't even put my face on camera on the Hangout. I was just talking to them because they knew me from chatting and on their comments or whatever. So like, I don't know, it just kind of stuck, and they were all just like happy about it, and they're like, oh, that's a perfect name. And my banner is like old. It's like 6 years old now. I had this guy named Movie Cave Dave from the UK make that banner for me, and he was all stoked about the Brian Goes Blu thing. So I want to make a new banner that has Brian Goes Blu and Coco too. So
nice.
I'm getting Coco to do that soon. So
very cool. Well, I was talking to Mr. Nichols about this. Like, I didn't put much forethought into it, doing the name for my channel. So like, when I come to like channels like yours, I'm like, see, that makes what you do makes sense, and it's a great brand, and it tells everybody what you do. And I didn't do that, and I should have done more effort into that. But so anyway, I do like the name a lot for your channel.
Well, thank you.
And I do love the content you guys have, and your collection, which I love that you're filming this in front of your collection, because I just love seeing people's collections.
It's the best place to film it. We have a desk right here where I'm at, and we have an apartment, and a 2-bedroom apartment, and this is the entire second bedroom, really.
That's awesome. You get your own library.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, awesome, man. Well, thank you again. I really do appreciate you taking the time, especially on the day where you've been to work and it's in the evening now. So yeah. So for me, these 5 conversations are great because we get to chat movies. I get to chat movies with friends, and we get to learn more about you as a collector, as a human, as a person, and then also 25 film recommendations I get to have from you, and everyone who watches it gets to get 25 film recommendations. So and I'm going to, when I'm looking down on my phone, I promise you, I'm not texting with my mom. It will be writing down film recommendations that you give. So that's been one of the biggest fun parts for me. Terrifying because it could be very costly if I start buying all these films. But
yeah, but you buy mostly thrift, right?
I do. Absolutely. Yard sales and thrift are what I mostly do. So
that's the smart way to do it, honestly.
It's the only way I could do it, and then walk through the door when I come home. So yeah. I laughed. There was somebody, I forget who it was, a YouTuber this week said, they went out and bought like, I think it was 3 or 4 new release on 4K, which is probably 100 plus.
Yep.
And they said, I don't know if it was a post on Instagram or it was a YouTube video where they're like, my wife was not happy when I came through the door. And so anyway, so I'm going to stick to my Goodwills.
Yeah. I mean, you get library deals for $1 4Ks. So.
Yeah. So that works for me. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, let's dive into the 5, man. I'm really excited to find out what your films are. So the first question is, what 5 films have you most recently seen?
Most recently seen. First one was Malignant. I don't have that to show because it's a in theaters title. But we saw that in theaters, and we have the AMC A-list, which is awesome. You can see up to 3 movies a week for $20 a month.
Oh, wow.
So you can see basically up to 12 movies in theaters per month for $20, which is awesome. And so Malignant, it was a James Wan film, the director of Conjuring and Insidious and Saw and all that. It was kind of a different take on like a giallo murder mystery. And it was about this girl who you don't really know too much about her past at the beginning of it. And she has like an abusive husband, and she's pregnant, and he hits her head really hard against the wall, and it kind of like triggers something in her past. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's just like an all-out kind of crazy movie. The third act is just really insane, and it gets pretty gory towards the end of the movie. So I'm pretty sure you're not going to write this one down. but it's
not even close.
It's on HBO Max if you want to see it. But
okay.
It's a wild one. I didn't know what to expect because the trailer didn't like really catch me, but I knew it would be a somewhat decent movie, so I went and checked that one out.
It's like it's all over Instagram this past week.
Yeah, it's like everywhere.
Everybody's talking about it, and so I definitely feel like I'm on the outside of that one. But
just because of the shock value, I think that's why everybody's talking about it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Second one was let's see. Career Opportunities.
Okay.
That's the one with Jennifer Connelly and Frank Whaley.
Yeah.
This is from 1991. It's written by John Hughes. I don't think he directed it. No, he didn't direct it. But also has Dermot Mulroney in one of his early films. But yeah, it's basically this guy who's down on his luck and can't really hold a job. He lives in his parents' house, and his dad's just badgering him to get another job. And he finally gets a job at Target. And the guy who interviews him is John Candy, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But
Good Canadian. Good Canadian.
Yeah, yep. But he gets paid $4.44 an hour to be an overnight janitor. Because I guess overnight at Target they have janitors that just clean the store overnight. So
okay.
But yeah, inside the store, little does he know that Jennifer Connelly is hiding out in the store, and she was thinking about shoplifting earlier that day, but then she kind of just like she says she fell asleep in the woman's dressing room. So she's there with him overnight, and then they kind of just have their little adventure inside the Target, and it's a pretty fun movie. And a couple of criminals come into play too. So this movie is really well known for like being the one that has kind of like a sexy Jennifer Connelly in it. So yeah, she was like my big celebrity crush back in the 90s. So yep, Career Opportunities. I do recommend checking this one out. It's a real good one. Kino Lorber just put this one out recently.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought they did.
Yeah. So it's got the Kino spine and all that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's pretty good. It's real short. It's like an 83-minute movie, so it kind of comes and goes real quick.
90s films.
Yep. And then the next one I showing my girlfriend was I'm trying to show her stuff from my past that I liked a lot, and vice versa. So this one is one with Shane West and James Franco. It's like a teen comedy from early 2000s. I think this is a 2000. Yeah. And that's Whatever It Takes.
I've never heard of that film.
It has Shane West, James Franco, and Marla Sokoloff, who I recognize her from Do Where's My Car, and she's also like don't know if you watched Full House,
Oh yeah.
but she's the girl that gets Stephanie to smoke in the bathroom in that one episode. But and then Jodie Lynn O'Keefe, who is in She's All That and Halloween H2O and among some other movies. But this also has like young performances from Colin Hanks and Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. And it's just like a real like fun teen comedy that I always enjoyed. It's basically James Franco likes this girl, and then he likes the I don't know, kind of like the preppy girl from school. Okay. So he's teaching him how to get with this girl and vice versa, because he's best friends with this girl. So it's kind of like one of those type of movies where he's telling him what to say and he's telling her what to say. It's kind of like that.
Gotcha.
It's a pretty silly one, but it's fun.
James Franco looks so young there.
He's really young in this, like crazy young. But yeah, this is one I've always had fun with. And then I also saw number 4, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
Oh yeah, how is it?
That was a great movie. That caught me by surprise. The trailer didn't make it seem like it would be that great of a movie. Really, to me, I thought it would be like on the lower tier of Marvel movies, but it was like pretty awesome.
Cool.
I really enjoyed it. It's like a lot of action, just real fun all around movie. Trying to think of what it was about. Like the father in the movie has these like 10 rings on his arms that kind of keep him like everlasting, kind of like a vampire, like he can live forever kind of deal with the rings on his arms. But it also gives him like amazing powers, and then it just shows him like raising his son, and then his son goes to the USA, and then he has to go back and visit his dad for whatever reason, and he brings his friend along, and it just becomes a big old adventure, and it's just a lot of fun.
Cool.
I really enjoyed that one.
I saw a few people on Instagram say it was like it instantly became like a top 3, top 5 MCU film for them.
Yeah, it was really fun. I don't know. They had a little bit of a tie-in towards the end, like in the after credit scene, but other than that, there wasn't really any other Marvel relation to it.
Okay. And what about the like? You don't have to tell me what it is. I haven't seen it, so to spoil it for anyone. But is there a cool like end credits scene?
Yeah, there is a cool end credits scene, and there's actually 2 of them.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there's one in the middle of the credits and one after the credits. So.
I need to see it.
And it says the 10 Rings will return, so he's going to be in newer movies too. So.
Well, I've heard that he's definitely going to be in whenever the next Avengers film is. He's in that for sure.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Because I really liked his character, and Awkwafina is pretty funny in the movie too.
I love her. Her in I think it's called The Farewell.
Yeah,
I thought she was absolutely brilliant. I loved her.
Yeah, not spoiling anything, but there's a big dragon in this movie, and it kind of made me think of Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, really?
She plays a dragon in that movie.
Yeah.
Most of it, so.
That's cool. I just saw that film for the zillionth time last night. My daughter loves it, so we did watch it again. Yeah.
Raya and Onward are some of my favorite newer Disney movies.
Onward's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So how many of his films is that again? So we have, what do we have here? That first horror film.
Yeah, we have Malignant. We
got the 90s.
Career Opportunities, Whatever It Takes from 2000.
All right.
Shang-Chi.
All right.
This is number 5. I wanted to show Coco, one of my childhood favorite movies, and we watched this the other day. We actually watched this on VHS because it's the only way to view this movie. And it's a movie called Josh and Sam. Josh and Sam. It's like something that would definitely get a Kino release or a Mill Creek or something like that. But,
okay.
It's about these 2 brothers that their parents are divorced. The younger brother is kind of a troubled kid, always getting into trouble at school, like beating up people and stuff like that. And so what happens is the mom has a boyfriend that she moves to Europe with whenever the boys are visiting their father. and their fathers remarried, and actually one of the um, one of their stepbrothers in the movie is a young Jake Gyllenhaal,
No way.
like a really young role of his,
Crazy.
randomly in a couple scenes. But yeah, they decided to escape from their dads, and they run away from home, and they actually end up beating up somebody, thinking that they killed him with a pool cue. And it's Chris Penn of all people.
Really?
Yeah. And so they take the car that he has and try to flee the scene, because they thought that they thought that they were going to get it. They murdered this guy. They didn't really do that, but he ended up being just knocked out. But anyways, they take his red car and they go on a joyride. They're going to Canada.
There you go.
But yeah, the older brother like tells his little brother that he's like a robot, and that he has like these powers that he doesn't really have, and reasons why his name is Sam, and his name is an acronym, and for different reasons, that he's like a mutant person, and he ends up believing all this stuff, and he can't unbelieve it. He can't get his brother to unbelieve it now that he believes it. And I don't know, it's just a bunch of craziness that ensues in there. It's a fun movie. It's got Martha Plimpton's in it too. From Goonies.
Now, has that gone to DVD at all?
Never.
Really?
Yeah, never got a DVD or a Blu-ray or anything.
Wow. That's interesting. I hear people say sometimes like some films haven't made the jump from VHS to DVD, and I was like, I can't think of any. So that's really crazy that that's one of those films.
Yeah, it's just like one I've always loved, and I think it was like, I forget what movie it was. I think it might have been before Secret of the Ooze on VHS, Terminator, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Okay.
When this trailer was shown, and then it like piqued my interest, and I rented it, and me and my sister loved it as a kid. So
that's wild. Wow. Well, there you go. You got to have the VHS to see that one.
Yep. I ordered this on eBay like when I was in high school still. So
really? Now, does that go for quite a bit where it doesn't have a release in another format?
No, it really doesn't. It goes for like 10 or less.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow.
Yeah. Josh and Sam.
Very cool. Never heard of that one. All right. So what 5 films do you have your earliest memories from?
We made a few stacks with some notes on them. Earliest memories. Here we go. Now these, I think you've probably seen most of them, if not all of them.
So no horror then.
No horror. These questions were hard to have horror for.
That's true. Oh, that's true.
First one was the one that I remember my uncle showed me as a kid, and I just always loved it. Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, the story about the family that accidentally hits Bigfoot. They bring him into their house and becomes one of the family, basically.
Yeah.
And John Lithgow's great in this movie.
I just revisited that one like a year ago, and I remember having watched it when I was just obviously a lot younger when it came out. And on the rewatch, man, it was just like, I was like, this is so ridiculous, this film.
Yep.
Yeah. So crazy.
I wonder who plays Harry in this movie. I haven't seen him like. Maybe I need to watch the features on this thing. I don't think I've watched the bonus features on here.
That's a great pull.
Yeah, maybe they show him. But the whole family's pretty good. I don't really recognize anybody else in the movie though. But yeah, Harry.
That's a great pull.
Yeah.
What year did that one come out?
87.
87. Dang, I was 9.
I was 2. But yeah, my number 1 for that.
Nice.
Number 2 pick. What year did this one come out? This is a Warner Archive. 95. It's a movie called Angus.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's got nobody real famous in it. It does have Kathy Bates as the kid's mother in it.
Okay.
But it's got Chris Owen. I don't know if you've seen American Pie, but the Terminator.
Okay.
He's in it. And it's got Ariana Richards, who's the young girl from Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
and it's also got what's his name from Exorcist 3? George C. Scott. He's in
Oh,
this too.
really?
He plays the kid's grandfather in the movie.
Okay.
But it's basically just these two kids. Well, the one kid's named Angus. He's like the big kid in school, and James Van Der Beek's in this movie as well. A really young role, and I don't know. He basically he's just tired of being the fat kid and being judged for it, and just kind of like coming of age movie about how a fat kid grows up in high school and just the way he gets picked on, and just I don't know, just the way he deals with coming into his own, and how he gets the girl even though he's the fat loser one of the bunch, and his friend is the Chris Owen kid, and he's got big ears, and people make fun of him for that. And I don't know, it's just one that always hit me, especially with the whole like family dynamic of screw what people think, and watching just the underdog rise up. It's a real good underdogs type of story. And yeah, James Van Der Beek, because he plays like the bully character in it. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, but yeah, George C. Scott as a grandfather is a real good part in it as well. He's always giving him good advice and playing chess with him and stuff like that. So Kathy Bates has his mom is always encouraging him as well, and just always hit me. It always made me tear up too.
Oh, wow. Well, I took that one down. I'd never heard of that one. So
Yeah, and it's got a pretty good soundtrack too. It's got some Weezer and Green Day in there.
no way. That's awesome.
Yep. One of my favorite Green Day songs is in this. It's called Jar. Jar.
Okay.
It was on like one of their international super hits albums or whatever that CD was. But yeah, Angus.
Cool.
I know of all the YouTubers, I know what movie one loves this movie. He like got it autographed and everything. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
I've never heard of that one, but I took it down. I'm going to definitely check into that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's only got the Warner Archive DVD. It doesn't have Blu-ray, so I think I got that one for like, I think it was not part of the 4444 sale or whatever, whenever they do that. Next one I have is a Walt Disney movie, and this is a Fox and the Hound, about the clamshell VHS and the Blu-ray here.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just all around classic. Always, it's about Todd and Copper. And I don't know what to say about this one. It's kind of a downer towards the end, but always makes me tear up too. Yeah, it's just a Disney classic, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty good. It doesn't tell you who does the voices on these, but I know like one of them is just like an old country singer, I believe. I don't know. But yeah, just this and like the Jungle Book, but this one especially, like I just always put in, even though it would make me tear up every time.
I think these obviously they're classics, and I find kids today, because of like the Disney Pixar stuff is like so like engaging visually, it's just so much more intense than these films, It's even for our daughter, like to like, hey, you should check out, she loved the new live action Aladdin. I was like, hey, you should check out the original. And she was like, nah, it's fine. And I was like, are you kidding me? It's Robin Williams. He's the greatest.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if she watched him in reverse, it would be a different story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The Blu-ray of this looks ridiculously good too.
Really?
Crazy good.
Cool.
It's just like seeing a picture perfect movie. I don't know how they clean these up so well, these old Disney classics. I haven't seen the second one though. It came with it.
Nice.
And Oliver and Company is probably my number one Disney movie, but this is pretty up there.
Nice.
Next one I know you're gonna know, and that's Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen that?
No. I failed.
That's okay. This tagline at the top is ridiculous. It says it's Home Alone times 5. Back when they used to say everything was Home Alone back then.
Getting people to watch their movie.
Yeah. But this is basically the mom goes out of town for the whole summer, and she has this like 80-something-year-old grandmother take place of as the babysitter, and then within like a week of the mom being gone, the babysitter just dies in her chair. and and the kids are pretty much left to fend for themselves because they don't tell the mom that the babysitter passed away. And and they take the babysitter to a place and kind of just like leave her there like in front of like a cemetery so that she's properly buried and all that. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, but it's Christina Applegate in the main role, and also has the kid Keith Coogan, who's in Adventures Babysitting.
Okay.
He's like the older brother in this, and Josh Charles, who was in like Sports Night and that series, and I forget what other series he's in, but he's a big TV actor now. And the the young girl is Danielle Harris from I don't know, Wish Upon a Star. I can't think of it. Halloween and some other movies, but anyways, this is just a real good movie. It's just fun seeing like what they have to do over the course of summer to survive, basically because they can't find the money that was left to the babysitter for them to buy groceries with and stuff. So she ends up having to get a job. She ends up having to like pretend like she's over the age of 18, which is like a 15-year-old girl.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool to watch them all sort of have to grow up, even though they think they have like a free summer basically, but they end up having to grow up to fend for themselves. And some of the kids do like immature stuff, like buy a huge TV set and all the other stuff with the sister's money, and she gets upset about that. So
nice. I need to see it. I know I've heard so many people talk about it. And what year did that one come out?
Needs a Blu-ray hardcore. I don't know why this doesn't have one. 91.
91. All right. So I was early middle school.
Yeah. It's always it's like a fan favorite movie. Everybody loves this movie too.
Yeah, I need to see it. Well, if I find it thrifting, I'll have to grab it.
Yeah, it should be available thrifting for sure.
Yeah.
And then the last, but certainly not least, is one of your favorites and one of mine, and that's Dumb and Dumber.
Absolutely.
Got to have that one.
Good VHS copy of that.
Yeah, I have the Blu-ray copy too, unfortunately, but like that, I can't stand that unrated cut.
Yeah, I wish they'd just like put out the Blu-ray, but have it both so you can watch either one of them on the Blu-ray. Yeah. I don't understand why they did it that way.
Yeah, I found a used DVD copy recently at like a thrifting kind of place right near our apartment complex, and they didn't. It was all scratched up. I was like, so I don't even have it on DVD. So if I want to watch the theatrical, I've got to pop in the old VHS.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's rewatchable as heck. I don't know. What else can I say about Dumb and Dumber?
I know.
It's just one that I've always grown up on. I just had the fondest memories of viewing this as a kid. And I remember my grandfather dying laughing at the toilet scene towards the end.
That's a great scene.
Yeah. But you got those Funko Pops too. Those are really cool.
Yeah, Miranda, that was amazing. They're right there in my office up on the shelf. And yeah, I just think and again, it's just got a special place in my heart, that film.
Yeah.
And and it is just, the title perfectly describes it. It's just such a dumb movie. Everything about it is dumb. Yeah. And the dialogue, I think, is so funny.
Yep.
Yeah. It's good, man. I love the VHS copy.
Yeah, you can't top it. Yeah, I have a good collection of VHS. I'm actually going to show that in one of my videos. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I need to pick up a VCR still. I've got only a handful of VHS, but I need to pick one up. So I'm always at Goodwill's, always looking around. You'll see them come up once in a while for like, $15 or something. Yeah,
a lot of times, like the ones that'll probably work better are probably the DVD VHS combos.
Yeah.
Because they're newer. So
yeah, for sure.
Those would probably be a little bit easier to find than just a plain VCR.
Yeah. Safer bet too.
Yeah.
Well, cool. All right. Question number 3. What 5 films have had the greatest impact on you? It can be emotionally impacting your worldview, changing your life perspective, or again, none of those things, but have just had the biggest impact on you.
There's impact. All right, let's go. Um, First one stars my favorite actor, and it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel, and that's 500 Days of Summer.
Cool.
This one is a very emotional movie. Kind of, it's the 500. It's like goes through 500 days of him knowing this girl. Her name is Summer in the movie. And have you seen this one?
I have not, but I'm writing it down because I need to see it.
Wow, it's really good. But it's funny because it's funny and it's sad at the same time because it goes like through the ups and downs of a relationship, of their relationship. But like it'll be like it'll show like day 1, and then it'll show like day 362 or something like that, and then it's just really cool because it shows like he'll be really happy one moment, and then the next time it'll be like a really down note in the relationship, and just it all ties together towards the end. But it's just cool how it's filmed and how it just goes a little bit back and forth with their relationship, and you get to see all aspects of it. And that's pretty much sums up what a relationship could be if it's a little bit toxic like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one always hit me hard, and it's got some really good acting from Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it. You know, I've always loved him, and yeah, and then Zooey Deschanel is, you know, she's pretty charming as well. She has a couple of like singing numbers in this movie too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but
nice. Yeah,
it's really funny too. It's really funny.
It's one of those films where like I've seen the cover 1,000 times and I've just never seen it.
Yeah.
What year did that one come out?
2012.
2012. Okay.
Yeah, so 9 years old now. Yep. No, 2009 actually. Sorry. 2009.
Yeah.
And that's 12 years old.
Wow.
But yeah.
Cool. I gotta check it out.
And then this next one is the one that me and Marie both had in our 5s. That's Ghost World.
You know, a couple other people just recently picked it up and told me about it.
Yeah, it's Thora Birch and Scarlett Johansson and Steve Buscemi. But I love this movie. I loved it ever since I saw it in like I think junior year of high school. But it's based on a graphic novel too. A lot of people don't know that. And it's just about this group of these 2 girls who they're kind of like the outcasts of their high school class, and everybody else is like it's first scene of the movie, they're graduating high school pretty much, and everybody else is asking them, what are you going to do? And they don't know. And then it goes to their summer, and Scarlett Johansson gets a job, and Thora Birch's character just doesn't end up getting a job. She just doesn't want to do anything. So she ends up going thrifting one day, and she meets Steve Buscemi, and she buys a record from him because he was selling some vinyl records, and he's like a big collector nerd of vinyl in the movie, and they form a relationship, and a little bit of their relationship is a little bit unhealthy because of the age gap between them.
Okay,
but they don't go like extreme with that, but it's just really good. Young Brad Renfro's in this as well. I know he passed away like early 2000s. The kid from The Client.
Okay.
But yeah, Steve Buscemi's a great role in this movie too. But I always loved Thora Birch ever since like Hocus Pocus and Monkey Trouble and some early 90s movies with her and American Beauty. And it's cool to see Scarlett Johansson in a younger role before she got like real famous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the original artwork on this more. This is like a new commissioned art, but yeah, Ghost World, it's a must watch, really. You should be able to find at least the DVD for cheap.
Cool. Well, I'm writing it down.
All right. So the next one, this is number 3 in the stack, and that's Me and You and Everyone We Know.
Me and You and Everyone We Know. Never heard of it.
Yeah, this movie has it's a film by Miranda July. She also stars in the movie. It's got John Hawkes in it. I don't know if you know who he is, but
No.
he's probably the most famous person in this movie. But it's basically about a father and his two sons. Is a divorced dad and he's taking care of his two sons, and he finds he works in the mall at like one of those like a Dillard's head place, and he sells shoes for a living.
Okay.
And this girl, the Miranda July's character, she drives one of those elder cabs for elderly people, just taxi cabs, elderly people around. And she ends up going to the mall for this old man to get new shoes. And she meets up with John Hawkes' character in there, and they end up kind of hitting it off. But she's really, really awkward, so he doesn't really know like how to be himself or like around her, like if he likes her or not. It's just kind of like she's a real weird, quirky kind of person, and so she like kind of follows him out of the mall whenever he's leaving work, and just gets into his car like they've been friends forever kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really weird. And he ends up like driving her home, but then at one point he's just like, "Get out of my car," and then they end up like meeting. They end up meeting together at another time, and they end up like kind of falling for each other then. But it's just, I don't know. It's kind of like a weird one of those movies where a bunch of different characters like kind of come together because
Okay.
The two young sons are walking home from school one day, and then they kind of meet up with these two girls, and then the two girls like kind of they kind of teach the kid how to kiss, and then the two girls end up like finding stuff out from one of the other people in the movie about life, and it just kind of comes full circle towards the end. One of those kind of movies with a bunch of different characters going on at once.
Okay.
But I just love it. It's just, I don't know, it's very like endearing, and this is like a story about the world we live in pretty much, and I don't know, it's got intimacy, like redemption, just strange, weird, odd characters in it. Just one I've always loved. If you like indie like drama comedies, I would recommend checking out this one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote that one down. I've never heard of that. And is that a Criterion release?
It's a Criterion release from 2005. It just came out in Criterion, I think, a year or two ago. So
Wow. Okay.
2020 it came out in Criterion. So
Wow.
I was really pumped for this to come out in Criterion too, because it was the first time on Blu-ray too. So
Oh, cool. I'll definitely look into that one.
It was like from 2005, so it was like around that same time when indie movies were like the big thing.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like the Sundance Film Festival type of movies that were popping real big then.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stars that we know of today were in those movies. So
Cool.
yeah, it's a real good one. It's kind of a little bit hard to describe, but
Well, it's on my list, man.
yeah. Number 4 is a Cameron Crowe film, and this one stars Kate Hudson, Patrick Fugit, Almost Famous. Have you seen this one?
Haven't. And someone gave me the business for that one too. I haven't seen it, and it just got. That's the new release, right?
Yeah, this is the Steelbook release, the 4K. They haven't come out with the standard 4K for it yet, but
okay.
I had it on DVD, but it's in my for sale pile now. Now that I've upgraded. So that's what I do whenever I upgrade for the most part. I get rid of the older titles so it doesn't clutter my collection too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one it's basically about this kid. He's like 14 or 15 years old, and he's big into music from his sister, who's played by Zooey Deschanel. His mother is Frances McDormand, and he ends up meeting up with this guy who works on a radio station, and the guy is Philip Seymour Hoffman. And so his character tells him about Rolling Stone magazine and basically everything in and out of the record business. And so he ends up going to a concert to see Black Sabbath, but the opening band is Stillwater, and when he's waiting outside to get into the backstage, he's trying to sneak into the backstage area, but he can't get any entrance into that. but he finally ends up meeting up with Kate Hudson and a few of her friends, and they let him into the backstage area where they're kind of like the groupie girls, and he ends up befriending this band Stillwater, and they ask him to go on the road with him, and so they all go on the road together, and he ends up getting Rolling Stone calls him, and they want him to do a article on the band. So the entire time that he's on the road with them, he's writing about them, and they call him the enemy because
Okay.
I think he's gonna like spill the guts about the entire band, all the behind the scenes bad stuff too.
Okay.
And the lead singer of the band is Jason Lee.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
The lead guitarist is Billy Crudup, and so he's like one of the main characters in it. Billy Crudup is, because he's the guy who's in love with Kate Hudson's character. You also got like Fairuza Balk is in there. What's her name? Anna Paquin's in here too.
Wow.
Just a bunch of people in this movie. It's just the extended bootleg cut that's on here is like 2.5 hours long, but it flies by.
Wow.
And that's the version I prefer watching because it just like it establishes the characters that much more, and you really feel for the characters and love them. And
Cool.
It's cool. That Patrick Fugit kid, this is like his breakthrough role, but he hasn't really done too much since. But yeah, this is a great movie. I think Cameron Crowe like based part of this on his own life, into this movie. I know he did Say Anything, and he wrote Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and I think he did Jerry Maguire as well. So
Very cool.
Almost Famous is definitely a great movie.
Well, I know people were super excited for that release.
Yeah, I was pumped for it, and it looks great too.
Good.
Yeah. Last but not least, this is the horror title right here. I'm a big horror guy, so this one I had to show both releases off too, and that's Reanimator.
Haven't seen it.
This one's got Jeffrey Combs. It's like his biggest movie, really. He's in a ton of movies. He's a great like character actor. But Stuart Gordon wrote this movie, and it's directed by this guy named Brian Usna, who does some crazy horror movies. But anyways, it's about this guy, Herbert West, who creates this serum called a reagent. And it's this green serum that brings reanimated tissue back to life, or brings dead tissue back to life, reanimates it. And first time I heard about this movie was actually from the movie American Beauty. Have you seen that movie?
No.
No? Oh, wow. But Kevin Spacey's his neighbor is talking about this movie, and it made me want to check it out. And,
Okay.
And it's just one that I've loved ever since I was like a kid in like middle school, high school days. But just basically he goes to a morgue, the Herbert West guy, and he works with this other doctor, and he ends up living at the doctor's house because the doctor has a room for rent, and he ends up staying with the guy and his girlfriend. But he ends up accidentally killing their cat, and then the guy goes down to the basement where Herbert West is, and he noticed that the cat was reanimated with the reagent stuff, and he's kind of like he's alive, but he's not all there because of the reagent not working properly, and then it kind of like goes into effect with the humans at the hospital, and they basically turn into zombies when they plug this stuff in because their brain has been dead for so long. So
Gotcha.
it's a real fun movie. It's gory, it's crazy, it's funny as well, and it's got a lot of funny one-liners in it too. But yeah, Reanimator.
Nice. And that other release you held up, that's the Arrow release, correct?
Oh yeah. This is the classic cover art. That's why I was showing that one. But
okay.
Yeah, this is the limited edition one. This one goes for like $100 on eBay now.
Wow. Okay.
Nice. It's got like a comic book in there, and a couple extra discs in there as well. So
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So the next question, number 4, is what 5 films do you consider to be underrated?
Underrated. All right. I used to have this one on DVD, but I upgraded to a German Blu-ray because it's very underrated to me, and nobody talks about this movie. Mel Gibson stars and directs in this movie, and it also has Nick Stahl, who was a young actor back then. He doesn't do too much now. He was in a movie recently with Devon Sawa, but Mel Gibson in The Man Without a Face. It's got a German title right now, but it's The Man Without a Face, and they call him The Man Without a Face because Mel Gibson's character was in a fire, and half of his face is burnt. So like when he turns his head, like the other one half of his face is severely burned. So it's got like, it kind of looks like Freddy Krueger face is what I would like to refer it to. Like it's all wrinkly looking and stuff, but really good. Like the way they did his face was really cool. But it's about this young kid. His name is Chuck Norstedt, and I've seen this movie tons of times, so I just know all their names and stuff. But so Chuck's character, he's kind of like the outcast of the family. He feels like he doesn't belong in the rest of the family, so he kind of goes off walking, and they kind of live near the woods. I forget where they live, but he finds Mel Gibson's house, and Mel Gibson was a teacher before he had the accident. They thought that he, whenever he was a teacher, they thought the people of the town kind of disowned him as part of their town because of him being in the fire, and the fact that they thought that he was like with like one of the kids, like in a bad way. They thought that he, I don't know how to describe that, but like it's weird because the whole town, like they stay open late for him, like extra 15 minutes so he can go shopping at night and be away from everybody. And this kid Chuck just takes to him real good, and then he ends up like learning a lot from Mel Gibson's character, and he's teaching him throughout the whole summer. And his whole family is like, "Why are you seeing this guy? You shouldn't be seeing this guy. He's a pedophile." But he's not. But he wasn't really. He just was known to be that because of what happened as a teacher. It's hard to describe again, but yeah. Also has young Gabby Hoffman here from Now and Then. Yeah, it's just one that always got me. Always made me tear jerk, and just cool to see like Mel Gibson in a role like this, and yeah, it just
wow,
always hit me. It's Richard Mazer is in here as well. He plays like the kid's stepfather. He's kind of a jerk in it. I think it won an Oscar too.
Wow. And that doesn't have a North American Blu-ray currently?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Just,
wow. It's a film that I've known of, and I may have seen a small portion of it, but I wrote it down because I need to add that to the collection. I do love Mel Gibson's filmmaking. I think is amazing, but
yeah. It's got a snapper case DVD. That should be fine. Yeah, next one is Valley Girl with Nicolas Cage and Deborah Foreman.
Okay.
80s movie. I'm a big 80s fan. This is from 83, and the original cover I do like a little bit more. It's this one underneath. This is a Shout Select Blu-ray. Okay. But it's also got Elizabeth Daily, who's like the voice of Tommy Pickles in here from Rugrats. And basically just like the punk kid who takes to the Valley Girl and tries to date her, and just the fact that all her Valley Girl friends don't want him around and don't want her to date him, and just kind of like one of those popular versus the unpopular movies. But it has a great soundtrack. I Melt With You is like played in its entirety in this movie, and I love that song. And it's got this band called the Plimsolls. They play in one of the bars, and they have a couple of tracks in here too that I love the soundtrack to this movie. It's great, and it's just funny because young Nicolas Cage is hilarious in this, and the way he looks and the way his punk hairdo is, and it just screams 80s the whole movie, and it's just, I don't know, it's just cool because it's just another underdog story where you see the guy who shouldn't get the girl, and
Cool.
The reasons why she shouldn't listen to the majority and all that. So, and then there's a couple side stories in here as well, like her friend's like boyfriend's like mother is like going after the boyfriend and stuff like that. It's nuts.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool movie though. So she's cool, he's hot. She swims out like he's not. So
I'll have to check that one out.
it's a fun one. And next one is this one's a little bit more of a downer, I guess. It's The River's Edge. It's got Crispin Glover, Keanu Reeves, Ione Skye, who was who's the girl in Say Anything. Daniel Roebuck and Dennis Hopper is in here as well.
Okay.
But this is a Kino as well, and it's based on a real life murder of a young California girl, it says. But basically, one of their friends is a group of kids, and one of their friends murders a girl, and he ends up just bringing his buddies over to the body and like showing that he killed her, kind of as like a show off. And they don't know what to do about it. They don't know whether to go to the police, whether to keep their mouths shut. He doesn't really he just kind of acts like dumb about it, and it just shows everything that happens after that.
Okay.
But and Dennis Hopper's character kind of plays like a drug dealer, and he kind of just like he plays into like kind of like their hideout from the police whenever stuff goes down later on in the movie. And it's just weird seeing Crispin Glover and Keanu Reeves in such a young role too.
Yeah.
It's 87.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like you can see how young he is there. But
okay. Crazy.
But yeah. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie because you don't think about like what would happen in that situation. Like if you just kind of stumbled upon a body, like what would you do? And they're all accessories to the fact after that point. So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So and for it to be based on a real life story too, it's crazy to know. Yeah, it's one that I don't think people talk about too much. And
yeah, I've never heard of it.
It has a MGM DVD as well, so
okay,
shouldn't be too hard to find. But yeah, it's a really out there movie.
I'll check that one out.
That, and I just always loved it. It's got kind of like a weird premise, but it's actually it's a fun movie to watch, even though it's dark. Next one is Secret Admirer. Now, this cover is kind of weird because it just shows Kelly Preston's head, but Sarah C. Thomas Howell, Lori Loughlin's in this, Fred Ward's in this, Dee Wallace is in this from E.T., the mom.
Oh yeah,
and this is a real fun movie because it's like C. Thomas Howell, his character, he's in like The Outsiders and stuff, but his character, he shows big interest in Kelly Preston, and it's kind of like she's a popular girl in school, and his best friend's Lori Loughlin, who is like the next door type of chick, and he writes. He doesn't even know how to write this note, so Lori Loughlin, his best friend, writes this note, and pretends like it's from Kelly Preston's character to him, and then the note gets passed around back to Kelly Preston's character. So, and the same note just gets passed around even to the parents, and everybody just ends up like falling for each other. And so Kelly Preston's character ends up falling for C. Thomas Howell, and then C. Thomas Howell falls for Kelly Preston's character, even though neither of them wrote the note. And Lori Loughlin's in love with him the entire time.
Okay.
But even like the parents get the note, and then they don't know who it's from. They think it's the the parents of Kelly Preston fall in love with the parents of C. Thomas Howell, and all that kind of clashes too.
Wow.
It's nuts. Like it just goes to show like what one little note can like change.
Sure.
So it's always just been a fun one to me. Um, Fred Ward's crazy in this movie. He's Kelly Preston's dad. He's like the cop, and he plays a cop role. And when he finds that note and thinks that his wife's cheating on him, he goes nuts.
Oh, okay.
But then I don't know. It's just another 80s coming of age movie. It's from '85. Just one of those funny love comedies from the '80s that I like.
That's cool. 80s for me, I forget who I was talking to about it, but it's kind of like a black hole for me for music and movies.
Yeah.
And I grew up in them. Like I was born in the late 70s, but I for whatever reason, it just wasn't part of my life, movies and music then. And so I just never got into it. And then the 90s was all of that. And so I connect more with the 90s than I would the 80s. So it's a thing. It's a decade that I'm trying to watch more and more of.
Yeah.
Because it's 10 years of stuff I essentially missed that I'm still trying to put back together. Like from the video game movie dome, I just had Back to the Future movies put aside for me because I've never seen those. I've seen the first one, but I haven't seen the second two. So I'm catching up on all that kind of stuff.
The first one's the best, but the second one's close second.
Okay.
But I love all three. But I have to go back and go to like the earlier movies, like the 30s, 40s, 50s, even the 20s, you know?
Yeah.
Those are the decades that I need to go back and start visiting now. Like,
yeah, those are fun for me. I like those, but
yeah, like I got some Chaplin and I got some other Criterion movies like that, but
cool.
Some Warner Archive. My girlfriend loves Judy Girl, and so I'm getting into all of her stuff. So, yeah,
that's awesome.
And the final one I have for my underrated is this is an Arrow video release, but Olive Films has a Blu-ray. It's also got an MGM DVD. This one's Region B that I'm going to show you though, because I have a Region 3 player. This is The Last American Virgin.
Okay.
And it stars this guy. His name is Lawrence Moneson, and I actually got him to sign a poster in the movie room here.
Oh, nice.
One of the conventions I met him, and Diane Franklin's in this movie as well. She wasn't in too much, but she was in a few '80s movies. I know she was in Amityville 2 and Better Off Dead and a couple other movies. But anyways, this is kind of like what American Pie would be like in the '80s.
Okay.
And it's these three friends who just kind of have one thing on their mind, you know, and what their crazy adventures are to get to, you know, have sex kind of thing. They go, like, it shows them in parties and shows them like, it's just crazy. Like it shows them like in alleys trying to find like hookers and stuff like that. Like,
crazy.
And the one kid works at a pizza place, and it's just they end up. There's one scene where they end up getting crabs, and all three of them. They end up like trying to drown them in a pool, and then there's one scene where they end up like they end up taking one of his friend's cars for a joyride, and it ends up being put into the ocean, and then ends up never being seen again. It's just it really reminds me of American Pie, but in the '80s.
Gotcha.
And it's another one with the killer soundtrack. It's got Blondie, Devo, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Police, U2. I'm just reading the back here, but yeah, it's just another great coming of age, and it's one of my favorite categories of movie to watch.
I love when a film has just an amazing, memorable soundtrack.
Yeah,
it's so good. Like I am a big fan of Reality Bites, the soundtrack for that film.
Yeah, I love Reality Bites, and Singles is another.
Yeah,
yeah,
really good soundtracks.
Mm-hmm. Last American Virgin is one I don't hear people talking about too much, but it's up there for me.
Nice. All right, and the last question is, what 5 films bring you the most joy, hope, laughter, put a smile on your face?
All right, so I'll start off with my favorite movie ever. and it's one you haven't seen. That's Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I know. That's an 80s film too, right?
Yeah, 80s film, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Criterion release is amazing. It's got like an hour or so of deleted scenes that have never been previously seen before this. So always a classic movie. You know what it's about. It's like the tension at the fake high school in Shermer, Illinois.
Yeah.
How John Hughes made up that whole name Shermer. It's like a whole fake town in Illinois doesn't even exist.
Okay.
But Emilio Estevez, Molly Ringwald, Ali Sheedy, Anthony Michael Hall, Judd Nelson, they all shine in this one. And it's drama, it's comedy, it's a little bit of everything. Shows what they go through one day of detention, becoming the furthest away from friends to being real close friends. And it's great. It's gut wrenching. It just makes me cry, makes me laugh, and all of every type of feeling in this movie for me.
Nice.
Yep.
I have no 80s cred at all.
It's okay. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is 85 as well. It's my birth year, and it's just a year that's filled with like my favorite 80s movies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Next one is this is the Joy and Laughter one, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this is my favorite 80s comedy, and this is 85 as well. Yep. And this is John Cusack with Better Off Dead.
Never seen that.
It's another great one. This is that same girl, Diane Franklin from Last American Virgin. She's in this movie as well.
Okay.
But have you ever heard of the cartoon Eat the Cat when you were a kid?
No.
There was like this purple cat named Eat the Cat. But anyways, this is the same director that does this, has done that as well. But he also did another movie called One Crazy Summer with that just came out in Warner Archive recently with John Cusack, Demi Moore, and Bobcat Goldthwait. But Better Off Dead, this is just a real fun movie. It's got it's about this guy who's down on his luck because his girlfriend just dumped him, and he wants to like there's funny jokes with suicide in this movie. It's kind of make everything lighthearted. It's really slapstick. It's really like cartoonish the way it's directed. So he, in the beginning of the movie, he tries to kill himself a couple different ways, and he ends up like not being able to, one of those kind of situations. So he ends up befriending this foreign exchange student that moved in across the street, and he ends up liking her, and just a bunch of hilarious stuff happens in this movie. He tries to impress his old girlfriend a little bit with a new girlfriend, and tries to ski the K-12, which is like the craziest skiing that you can do, I guess. And he tries to show her up that way, and I don't know. There's just a lot of funny scenes in this movie with his family, and like there's this one scene where the mom is like cooking bacon, but she boils it because she doesn't want the husband to eat fatty, greasy bacon, so she boils it, and it's like green teal color, the bacon. And it's just weird stuff like that, and like I don't know, like he has this car and an auto cocoon in his driveway that he's bought, like, and it just goes nowhere because he doesn't want to fix it up. But then the Diane Franklin's character, the foreign exchange student, she gets under the hood one day and just fixes it up for him, and they end up actually driving it. And there's these two Asian guys that always drive next to him on the road when he's driving to school and stuff, and they have like this. It's like an Asian guy with the voice of Howard Cosell.
Okay.
He's kind of like, in the red corner we have this one, like one of those kind of voices, but he's talking about the car race, and I don't know. It's one of those. It's just like every scene is just hilarious in its own way, and it's just indescribably good. I don't know. real funny. And
Cool. I'll definitely check it out. I put it on my list.
yeah, it's real good.
What I do after these conversations is I literally spend the next hour watching trailers.
Really,
Yeah.
that's a
This will
good
be
one.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, Better Off Dead is real fun. There's a this cover really stinks for the movie though. There's a cool FYE steelbook that I want to get just because the artwork's better.
Okay. I was going to say that doesn't look 80s at all.
No, it's a really bad cover. The DVD cover was better.
Okay.
But the next one is Fairley Brothers comedy. You might have seen this one. I think it's from 90. When is this from? 1998. So yeah, you've probably seen this one. It's There's Something About Mary.
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz, Matt Dillon, Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
This movie's hilarious. I love anything Fairley Brothers they do. Like every movie they put out is pretty good.
Yeah.
Chris Elliott in here, got Brett Favre. Yeah. What's her name is in like all the Insidious movies too. She's in this, and she's in all the other Fairley Brothers movies. Lynn Shay,
Okay.
the older woman that she's like in Kingpin as well, and I don't know, Dumb and Dumber, like the Mutz Cuts lady.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, this is just about like Ben Stiller's character. He loves Mary and goes to high school prom with her, or tries to, and then he zips his thing in the zipper, and I don't know. He ends up not seeing her for like I don't know how many years later, but he ends up finding her through Matt Dillon, who's kind of like tracks her down for him, and he finds her in like I think Miami is where he finds her. I'm not sure, somewhere in Florida, but he ends up finding her, and then everybody ends up loving Mary and being all obsessed with Mary, not just him. So that's just a riotous movie. And this is one, as well as Dumb and Dumber, that like the extended version really stinks. Like,
Oh, really?
You have to watch the theatrical version.
Okay.
This movie, like the extended version, just it adds some deleted scenes in there that just don't need to be there. So I recommend watching the theatrical version of this as well.
Gotcha.
I do remember checking this movie out in theaters and always having a great time with it. And I just, every time I like watch this movie, I got to be like singing along with the guys that sing in the tree and stuff like that. There's just something about Mary, you know.
Stiller looks ridiculous on that cover.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Yeah, and it's infamous for the dog scene when the dog like jumps through the window and the dog is in the full cast and everything.
Unreal.
Yeah, that movie's great. Second to last is a Jim Carrey comedy from the 90s, and this one's from, what year is this from? 96. And this is directed by Ben Stiller, and this is The Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Yep. Underrated to me because I don't know. This always brings me like a bunch of laughs, this movie. It's got a great cast in here. Matthew Broderick, Owen Wilson, Jack Black, Leslie Mann's in here, as well as like Ben Stiller has a small cameo in here, and even though he directs it. And I think a few people like Jane Garofalo, Andy Dick, they're in here because I don't know if you know, but they were in the Ben Stiller show back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a really cool 90s comedy. It's my favorite Jim Carrey movie as well. So
is that a North American Blu-ray on that?
Yeah, this is a North American Blu-ray. This one is out of print, but there is a newer edition that Sony put out that has the original cover art on it that you recognize when he has the coaxial cable in his hand.
I read the Chris Farley show after he died and learned that Farley was in talks to be in that role.
Wow, really?
Which would have been a totally different movie.
That would have been wild to see Chris Farley in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love everything from the medieval time scene, like to when he has like the green eyes in the dream sequence, and when he's singing "Somebody to Love."
Yeah, I forgot about that scene.
This movie has a great soundtrack too. I had this on CD as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a long time since I've seen that.
I love his like lisp in this movie, and he's like, he's like, "No, I don't have a lisp." I forget how he does it, but just, I don't know. I watched this recently, and it holds up too.
Cool. 90s comedies. Those were like those are just different, man. 90s comedies are just different from other decades of comedy.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are some 80s comedies that are pretty up there for me, but I think 90s comedies are my favorite too.
Yeah, there's just something about them.
Speaking of 90s comedies, this one is from 99, so right up there on the cusp. And that's Detroit Rock City.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, this is really up there for me. I love the cast is great. This one has Lin Shaye in it too.
And that's out of print on Blu-ray, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that till recently, and it's like crazy priced. I know some people picked it up for $5 at Dollar General still. So
really,
I think sometimes people can find it there.
Crazy.
Maybe. So if you can find it there, then I would recommend picking that up because it's out of print now. But yeah, this movie is just about four friends who desperately want to go see Kiss. I forget what year it takes. 1978. So that's when it takes place. So stars Edward Furlong from Terminator 2 and American History. And it's got Sam Huntington in it too from Jungle to Jungle, the kid from that. And yeah, it's just really fun. It's got the whole cast of Kiss too is in here. Natasha Lyonne from American Pie. I don't know, just it's cool when to see their journey and like how they split ways and try to get tickets to this Kiss concert. And just the mother is amazing in this movie too. She's like burning her tickets and she's at the Mothers Against the Music of Kiss protest and everything. And, yeah, it's just always been a hilarious movie for me to watch. I can't wait to show this to my girlfriend too. She hasn't seen this yet.
I think the last time I saw it was around the time it came out.
Yeah. Yep. I remember I rented this on pay-per-view and I watched it like 4 times within a 24-hour time span. Back when you can only get it for like that many hours, when you rented it.
Yeah. That's wild.
But yeah, Detroit Rock City. I always love that cover art too.
Yeah. It just looks like a classic cover art. Yeah.
Yep. So that's my 25.
Cool, man. That's awesome. Those are, I don't know if there was any overlap at all. Yeah, that's awesome. So that's a ton of great films.
I mean, between other people?
Yeah, I think
there was Ghost World.
Ghost World might be the only one, maybe. Yeah, so that's awesome, man. This is really cool. That's very awesome. Well, cool. I love doing lists and polling to answer questions. So, and I know some people, I know it's tough because you have a big library to pull it all and I have to put it all back. So I appreciate you doing that.
No, it's easy for me. I know exactly where every one of these goes. It's crazy.
I'm sick, man. Like I love books, music, movies. It's like Christmas morning to me if I walked in and all of them are out on the floor, not damaged, but if to just reorganize, it's like Christmas morning for me. I love it.
Oh, you love organizing?
Oh, I love it. If it's like movies and music and books, yeah, then I love it. If it's like
if I have the space for it, I like organizing.
Yeah.
As long as you have the shelf space.
That's true. That's true. Well, cool, man. Thanks for doing this. Now, is there some stuff coming up on your channel that you guys are looking forward to doing?
I know this won't come out in time, but we're going to be doing more live streams. Just like we did for the Turbo Man giveaway. We did a live stream for that. And Coco liked that a lot. So we're going to be doing more of those. And pretty much just more updates. And we're going to try to do some more out and about type of stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Trying to go like maybe to libraries and stuff like that. Like from your suggestion to check out the library halls and all that.
I got a fly in here.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, man. You can pick up some crazy stuff at those library sales.
Yeah, just show everybody what we have around the area. And I know we're doing like the company Vinegar Syndrome. We're going to be doing a full collection of what we have from them.
Cool.
For our collection, but we're going to be breaking up the collection videos like that, by like either boutique label or like through my catalog Blu-ray shelf, and we have a whole DVD shelf too, and VHS, all sorts of stuff to be showing off. So we just got to make videos for it, and we will soon.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much what we're going to do.
Cool. How'd you like doing the live stream? Like, I haven't done one yet because I'm so intimidated by it. Like, this is easy. I feel good. I can record this. If I botch something, I can edit this.
Yeah.
live stream, my anxiety goes through the roof.
Honestly, like back when I had like 200 or 300 subs, somewhere in there, like a couple years ago, I did a live stream and only like 1 or 2 people showed up into
Okay.
that, and so it was kind of like hard to do. But whenever we did the live stream for the Turboman doll giveaway, I'm not sure if it was just like because we were giving away the Turboman doll or what, but people were tuning in. We had like 14 or 15 people watching.
Nice.
And I thought that was a really good audience to have. At least like, if we have more than 5 people, I'm happy, you know, to be engaging with just that many people. So whenever we do that, we're going to be advertising it on my Instagram and her Instagram.
Cool.
So yeah, we'll be doing it that way, and let you know in advance when we do live streams. So
awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I always love the content you guys put out. So
thank you for that.
It's good. Well, I'm going to put in the description below on this one, you guys for Instagram and YouTube to send folks your way. So
cool.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for doing this. I really do appreciate you taking the time. And this is just fun for me to get to talk to YouTube friends about movies. So, and I learn a ton. So this is great for me.
Thanks for having me. I wasn't expecting you to reach out to me and ask me to do it. So.
Oh, well, I was glad. It's fun. Like because I watch so much, like I've seen hours of your content. So it's almost like, I feel like I know you guys because I know the stuff you collect. I know and I feel that way about all these other YouTubers. So, so this for me is such a genuine joy to all these people who I feel like I kind of know, which we all don't, but after watching hours of their content to get to actually have a conversation, you know, for me is just a ton of fun. So I'm loving this. Mm-hmm. So I was really glad you said you'd be a game for it. So
it's just a really cool concept. And yeah, it is really cool to know some of your subscribers and the people that you subscribe to and the people you watch videos of, and to actually be able to face-to-face talk to them. It's really awesome.
Yeah. My wife teases me because I'm like, I'll like say something about what's going on in someone's life because I watch their video and they say something, or I see their Instagram post or we DM or something like that. And I say something and she's like, who? And I tell her who it is. And she's like, who is that? And I'm like, oh yeah. It's like this other universe I'm a part of on YouTube. Yeah. There are all these friends I have that I only exist.
All these friends I've never met in real life.
So it's a cool thing. So I'm just really enjoying these conversations. So yeah.
I'm glad I found your channel too.
Oh man, super pumped I found yours. Yeah. It's great.
And the way we just do our videos, we just kind of just record them on a whim and go from there. We do minimal edits. You edit awesomely.
I don't enjoy as much of the filming of the video. I enjoy editing more than I do filming. Oh, yeah. So I have fun doing it. So I would probably be better helping someone else do a YouTube channel and they film their own stuff. I just get to edit their stuff for fun. So I enjoy that.
As soon as she hears the intro to your videos, she's like, oh, you're watching PlatX too?
Oh, yeah. I tried changing it once, the intro, because I found something I really liked. And it just got blasted. People are like, don't like it, too loud, change it back. And so I'm fine with what it is. I get bored easily, but it's all good. Yeah.
We're thinking about making an intro maybe down the line somewhere.
Well, like Physical Media Man, he's got like his own, was written specifically for him, which is really cool. And Mr. Nichols has his tagline. He yells out Mr. Nichols. So I enjoy watching people's taglines and and Physical Media Man, his own song was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, whenever we did that, and Coco surprised me with all those birthday videos. I don't know if you saw that birthday video. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I pieced all those together after she showed me the videos, which were awesome. But Physical Media Man, actually, he recorded 2 videos. He recorded one of the videos. This is like a classified thing that nobody else knows yet. But he recorded a video saying, like, introducing my channel. You're watching Brian Goes Blu and Coco too, kind of thing. So I'm thinking about maybe throwing that at the beginning of one of our videos too.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because we like him a lot.
He's super cool, man. Just like, really knowledgeable, killer collection, humble guy. Yeah, he's awesome. I love his channel.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool, man. Well, thanks again, Brian, and I hope you have a good night and good rest of your weekend.
Thank you. I hope you do too.
All right, man. Take care. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much to Brian for taking the time to have this conversation. I really enjoyed it, and I learned a bunch of new films that I now have to check out. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this one. We've got more episodes coming very, very soon. If you did like this episode, please do hit like. Please subscribe down below if you want more of this kind of content. And thank you so much for taking the time to check out another episode of The Five, episode number 7. We're coming up on number 10. Super excited about that. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Take care of yourself. We'll see you next time.